But it was interesting because I was able to talk to them and get some insight and information. And I've done that like a few times throughout my life, but it's almost like people overthink it. Just reach out and ask a question. But there's so many people that are like, well, I haven't found the right coach yet, or I haven't found, this, whatever. But there's a few common threads of all the guests I've had on my podcast. One of them is they take action. They do things that normal people wouldn't, meaning like normal people watch YouTube, millions, many millions of them.
Sure.
It's very rare that they're going to contact that person and like try to learn from that person states away across the nation, or halfway across the nation. So just that idea of going to Texas and taking action and going to Mississippi and learning from these guys, but just reaching out. Like I remember back in the day, this was way before real estate, but I thought I had this concept for a business, and it was a fitness facility that really had the feel and the culture of Mission Barbecue. And Mission Barbecue at the time, I have no idea how big they are now, but at the time was like a $60 or $70 million a year company. It could have been 160 or 170. I can't remember. It was a large company. And I went to their website and said, like literally on a website form, like inquiry, and said, I would like to talk to the founders of Mission Barbecue to just understand their mindset and how they created this culture. A week later, they responded and they said, come up to Maryland, meet us at 6 a.m. at the restaurant before it opens, and we'll spend an hour with you. And so I showed up to Maryland. I can't remember the details, but I showed up in Maryland. I believe it was Columbia, Maryland. So if there's a big Mission Barbecue there, that's probably where it was, but in some like mall center or whatever. But I got there at maybe like 4 a.m. or 3, whatever it was, but I got there like 3 or 4 hours early because you never know traffic, and I'm not going to screw this up. And I spent an hour with them and just got to talk to them. And they gave me like a little free like lunch for Mission Barbecue and said like, cool, it's been fun. But it was interesting because I was able to talk to them and get some insight and information. And I've done that like a few times throughout my life, but it's almost like people overthink it. Just reach out and ask a question. Like the worst things those guys in Mississippi could have done is said like, it's way more expensive than you can afford, or that makes sense, or just not respond or say no. And then you go on to the next guy that, might be able to help you.
Yeah. People are remarkably accessible. I think we tend to obsess over like athletes and pop stars and people like that. Like they have entire teams of people to keep you away from them.
Right. Exactly.
Like, like my daughter loves Taylor Swift, and she's, 5, 6 years old now. So like she said, like, do you think that I could ever meet Taylor Swift? And I'm like, yeah, maybe one day. But like in the same time, I'm like, that's difficult.
Right.
It's not like we're going to bump into her at Starbucks. So either a lot of money is going to get spent, or like we get really lucky,
right,
or put in a tremendous amount of work to get her attention in some capacity.
Right.
But she sees it as a 5-year-old, right? I'm just going to go and like hang out with this person because that's what I do in my world as a 5-year-old.
Right.
But like YouTube people are pretty accessible.
Right.
Yeah, don't be weird about it. But like, but I think also being upfront about like your intentions of a conversation goes a long way for them being able to figure out like, are they being weird about it or not? Like I'm looking to set up a business in Virginia. I connected with you on YouTube. You do business pretty much the way I think I would do business. So we're not in the same market, which helps out a lot. Right. So I figured if you're in Mississippi and I'm in Virginia, we're not going to be taking from each other.
Yep.
So, I'm willing to pay.
Right.
I'd love to see how you do operations. Just nice guys. They were like, yeah, sure, let's do it.
We do that in property management around the nation. I am in a mastermind of 6 or 7 of really reputable, strong property management companies in different states. And we'll never compete, but we share everything with each other, anything from like any issues that we're facing, and we all understand each other and each other's language, and we've grown to know each other and our families and things like that. It's really special to have those relationships, and I think you can do that in your market with real estate investing, but when you do want to start like a legit company that's going to grow and scale, go outside of your market and find people that have always done it or have already done it, and then see if they're willing to spend an hour with you or let you come visit them or something like that. I think that sort of action is what sets people like you apart from people that don't really do as much as they hope they would do.